Welcome to the Bleaves Crypto Show. My name is Bleaves. We're here to talk about this crazy crypto world. And as the always rightest man in the world, not just America, but in the world, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen in this market over the next 24 to 48 hours. And most of the data right now looks really, really good for a positive spike. And while the market has been in many ways contrary to what's been happening before, it seems like the market is ready for at least a surge, as a lot of shorts have been taken over the last little while. And again, I will stress that when you see that happen, you know that the market is preparing for an upswing, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. In the meantime, US added 64,000 jobs in November, but unemployment ticked up to 4.6%. Wall Street keeps a close eye on Bitcoin, but savvy investors are earning stable daily returns through lean hash. I don't know what's going on with that, but we're going to look into it. Bitcoin risks a deeper fall on $20 billion crypto hedge fund redemptions, which is coming up very soon, getting a lot of people nervous and front running, by the way, what may be happening there. Crypto attack of the century. Solana network resists a historic direct denial of service attack with zero downtime. What a great moment that was. And the SEC Crypto Task Force is hosting a financial privacy roundtable today. Let's talk about what we can expect right there. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleaves. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
All right, guys, update. Solana never went down, but SWE did. That's what we got coming into chat right now. So good morning to everybody. If you consume this content, that is. Hope you're having a good morning. We've got good morning to Jordan's Toolbelt. Good morning to J. Manuel. Latama, good morning. Latama, reset your account. By the way, I just sent you a message. So if you reset your account, then you've got your $50 reward in there. Roy G, good morning. Ken Gillette, good morning. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. And DGen Brian in the house. So let's talk about what's going on, because it is getting crazy around here. But we want to start off with something new today, because we're going to move very quickly today. This is what the market is looking like right now. And that over the last, let's call that 24-hour sort of period right there. Not looking great. Knight down 10%, Aster down 8%, Pump down 10%. Lot of liquidity extraction going on around this market, despite the fact that we were up just a little bit on the day. Now, Assemble Protocol broke out, was up 22%. When we move into the second round over here, that's where the speculation starts to begin. You'll notice that the crime coin of Pippin is up 17% today. Again, beating some expectations, and just, you know, you've got your crime coins right now, which I don't know that there's a better name for what's happening right now, but that's what they're being called, and up 17% on the day. So moving into the 2 to 300 category, Form up 32% on the day, having a little bit of a breakout, but folks down 53%, Core down 14%. A lot of liquidity extraction happening right now. And listen, these are venture capital firms, these are market makers that are just getting out, and they're leaving people wrecked. That's the nature of the game. That's the game that we're playing right now until we start to see a big time reversal. Now, it looks a little bit softer when you start to come down into the categories in the 3 to 500 range. You're not seeing as much, of course, financially, not nearly as much. However, Market's up $10 billion on the day, so go figure that one out. You know what I mean? And this was, by the way, again, another coordinated sell-off that happened in the market. When I'm showing you this, you have to remember that this includes the data from Jane Street. Jane Street every single day dumping widely on the market in order to keep the Bitcoin price manipulated, in order to keep themselves buying. And again, to give you a quick explanation of what they're doing, what Jane Street is doing every day is they are selling and they are dumping into the market, and then they are accumulating on the Bitcoin ETFs. So what you have is you have this opportunity that they're giving you, and they're shorting the market near the top, by the way. Shorting the market near the top. By the way, this should turn a little bit greener in a little while. But what they're doing is they're dumping on the market on spot, and then they're accumulating through the ETFs every single day, but they're also shorting the market when they start. So every day at 10 o'clock, you'll notice a bunch of shorts showing up, and then all of a sudden, the market just starts to tumble down. Now, they can't do it every day, because if it becomes every day, then the SEC will step in because they're seeing it, and what the SEC wants more than anything right now is to see growth in the crypto market, because Donald Trump has bet his administration on the positivity in the crypto market. So with that being the case, you would expect to see a nice move. And again, when you're not seeing it, you have to question exactly what's going on. And if you are too obvious, then the administration is going to step in. So I would be watching for a little change in that dynamic coming up very soon. Now, the big news of the day, the U.S. added about 64,000 jobs in November, a sign that the labor market is slowing. Now, this comes on the heels of losing 105,000 jobs last month. Now, how do you lose 105,000 jobs in the course of a single month? That's absolutely crazy. It's a testament to how poorly the Trump administration is handling the economy right now. Will it stay that way? I suspect it will not. There are a lot of smart people, and look, you don't have to be a fan of Donald Trump to understand there are a lot of smart people out there right now that are going to jiggle the handle and mess around with this market until they get it right. U.S. unemployment. Employers added just 64,000 jobs in November, according to a delayed report Tuesday, while the unemployment rate rose to 4.6 from 4.4. That's the highest unemployment rate in more than 4 years. The jobs report was initially set to come out earlier this month, but the government's ability to monitor the job market was hampered by the 6-week federal shutdown. So we are now seeing a very large spike in unemployment. And by the way, real unemployment is somewhere in the neighborhood of 8.7%. That delayed jobs tally for October and November, both of which were released on Tuesday, the report showed the U.S. saw a net loss of 105,000 jobs in October. That was led by a large drop in the federal workforce. By the way, let's not worry about that, okay? Now, here's the thing. I don't want people to lose their job. I'm not looking for people to lose their jobs. But at the same time, the government, our tax dollars are being spent to, in this situation, engage 162,000 government workers. This is heavy, okay? Removing those workers is actually a good step, okay? Privatize a lot of this stuff and stop government overreach. So this is just the start of it. Now, I suspect if you look at all these things and you play them out to the full extent, then guess what? You're going to see that we're not bad. We're improving the way that the government is run, government efficiency. We're putting it into the hands of privatized industry. And look, if you're a Democrat, I won't say liberal because it doesn't make any sense if you're a true liberal, but if you're a Democrat at this point, you're probably furious that 162,000 people lost their job and you're looking for an opportunity to dunk on Donald Trump. But the reality is most of these jobs should be privatized anyway, and it shouldn't be the responsibility of the government to hire and employ a bunch of workers. It should also not be the responsibility of the government to pay for all the services that people who just don't have jobs are doing. That safety net that we had before, it's got to be cut out. So I think that we're going to see some changes in what we're doing coming up very, very soon. So the Fed also lowered the interest rates. Now, this is going to, by the way, the labor market slowing down is going to force another rate cut. Now, remember, the administration said that they were going to pause rate cuts, or at least Jerome Powell indicated that it's a labor market that seems to have significant downside risks. People care a lot about that. That's their jobs, that's their ability if they get laid off or they're entering the labor force to find work. So that's really important to people. The labor market slowing would be a situation in which this economy is not as robust as people are thinking. So in order to fix those, the government is going to do two things. Number one, we're going to get that rate cut. Despite Jerome Powell saying that they want to pause rate cuts, they're going to be forced to do another rate cut, which is going to inject more opportunities for lending into the market. And number two, they're going to have to inject liquidity into the market because you're spooking investors right now. And these billionaires and trillionaires now, I guess we're getting to the point where we got trillionaires. These millionaires, billionaires, and trillionaires, they are pulling money out of the U.S. economy. When you do that, you have to inject liquidity back in. Otherwise, people are trapped. And when the liquidity pool is thin, then you get large swings, large price swings. And the government is going to do everything it can to stop that. So again, $40 billion being injected into the market this month, which is a huge number. But what happens next month? Okay, so there's a lot of good things that are building up right now for the next big move for the United States. Now, no bull market peak indicators. We're going to stick with this for a while because I think that this is an important thing. Now, the Bitcoin short-term holder supply still sitting at around 99%, so we could see a trigger coming any day now on that one. And then the long-term holder supply is also sitting at 96.23, but it's down a little bit on the day, despite the short-term holder supply going up. Now, when you have a lot of inflows, capital inflows into places like the BlackRock ETF, stuff like that, then you're going to see short-term holder start to, I think the long-term holder supply is over 1 year. Next up, while Wall Street keeps a close eye on Bitcoin, savvy investors are earning stable daily returns through lean hash. Now, I don't know anything about lean hash, but I am nervous when I see this because we did not have a good experience with some of our investment vehicles. And when I looked at this, it said if I put $100 in, it was going to give me $107 in a few days. If I put in $1,200 for 15 days, it was going to give me a return of $1,448. If I put in an intermediate computing power contract of $5,500 over 35 days, I would get back $8,541, which means that if I gave them around $10,000, I would basically be paying myself an inordinate amount of profit. If I put in $10,000 into a contract and it's paying me $5,000 a month, something wrong with that. So if you guys are looking at lean hash, I would back up just a little bit and be a little concerned about it. I'm not telling you what to do with your investment, just telling you when it seems too good to be true. It generally is too good to be true. Next up, Bitcoin risks deeper fall on $20 billion crypto hedge fund expiries. Now, Bitcoin faces a significantly higher risk of a crash from up to $20 billion in crypto hedge fund redemptions, according to 10x Research. It adds to the existing market headwinds of tax loss harvesting in December, exerting downward pressure on Bitcoin. 10x Research expects 10 to 20 billion in redemption by crypto hedge funds, which could drag Bitcoin price to 80,000. 80,000, by the way, is a good spot for a strong and significant bounce because that is one of the largest that's one of the largest levels of support that Bitcoin has right now in the range that we're in. The firm warned earlier about Bitcoin entering a bear market while maintaining a bearish outlook on altcoins. The redemptions wave is forcing crypto hedge fund managers to unwind positions in a challenging market environment, amplifying selling activity and adding to market stress. Now, when people, again, this is exasperation. That's what we're experiencing right now. We're getting that feeling where people are nervous about what's going on in the market, how they're going to be able to navigate it. And when you don't feel good about what you're doing, we don't feel good about the profit that you're in, you have to cut your losses. And if you're in profit and you're seeing your profits start to dwindle, then you have to make decisions in order to protect your investors. And that's what's being forced upon people. Again, this comes from market makers like Wintermute. This comes from market makers like Jane Street. These people are starting to create a situation in which people are deleveraging themselves from their position. Imagine the level of buy orders that are set by Jane Street. Imagine the level of buy orders that are set at Wintermute right now at that $80,000 level. That's the reality of the situation. So could we see a big dip down to 80,000? Yes. Are we going to? I don't know, but I would bet that we were. I just don't know that it's going to be today. I think it's going to be when you're not looking. When we're not looking, going to be right around Christmas time. So the crypto attack of the century. The Solana network resists a historic DOS attack with zero network downtime. For over a week, the Solana network has been under a constant DDoS attack, with the attack reaching a peak of 6 terabits per second. This put the Solana attack among the 4 biggest attacks that have ever been recorded on any distributed system. The monitoring system of the network showed that everything is functioning properly. The transactions were being confirmed almost instantaneously, and blocks were being generated on time. Data from Pipe Network showed that the average transaction confirmation took about 450 milliseconds. Even the longest confirmations took no longer than 700 milliseconds. Slot time showed no delays beyond 0 to 1 slots. So ongoing DDoS attack, and nothing is stopping. Now, here you go. This is the largest attacks ever, and that was Google Cloud, which was 46 terabits per second. Cloudflare, which was around, and by the way, remember Cloudflare a couple of times went down just recently, but these are attacks from 2022 and 2023, 38 terabytes per second, 26 terabytes per second. I wonder if it's North Korea. I wonder if it's North Korea doing stuff like this. Just curiosity, by the way. I don't know who it is right now, but a crazy thing here, and Solana surviving and not being hampered or in a difficult situation because of it. And finally, Terra, the SEC Crypto Task Force hosts Financial Privacy Roundtable today. What to expect. Now, what can we expect from this to happen? The debate is focused on how digital asset companies gather, keep, and secure information of their users. Regulators are examining whether current oversight tools can satisfy compliance demands without government overreach. And basically, here's what we're looking at right now. Remember, and this is very important, one of the things that you're watching in real time is when the Democratic Party is in power, they are doing what's called government overreach. In my opinion, what they're doing is they're making things so that they can monitor and track you more securely and more robustly. And by the way, this does not have anything to do with the U.S. bill in 2001 because we want to monitor people. This is just a continuation of government surveillance. So Democrats take power, and one of the things that they like to do is increase their level of watching everything that you do. They want to make sure that if you get $1,000 out of crypto, you better pay your taxes on it. We're coming for you. Big Brother is watching, and that's a little bit alarming and an example of government overreach. Now, do I mean that just monitoring transactions and stuff like that is government overreach? Yeah, I really do. In the world, there's a merit and honor system that has always existed that they're now telling you is no longer good enough. They need to know exactly what you're doing at every given moment in time. And that is crazy. And that's insane. Well, now we have an administration that's in office right now that is determined to roll back some of that. Remember, one of the things that we talk about, and one of the things that I had a problem with in the last administration of Donald Trump was the deregulation. And one of the things that you see is when Republicans take office, they deregulate. So everything goes down in terms of regulation, and it becomes easier to do stuff. And then all of a sudden, like in West Virginia, they poison the water and you can't drink the water. And then the Democrats get back in charge because now they got to fix something that Republicans broke, and you see the regulation go back up, and it's this up and down sort of. By the way, if you were to look at government regulation, you would be surprised. You wouldn't be surprised, but you might be surprised to know that it follows Fibonacci. If you were looking at government regulation, you would see that that continues. And by the way, not only does that, I'm fascinated, by the way, right now with Fibonacci, because guess what? If you were to look at race relations in the United States, Fibonacci actually tells you exactly what's going on. If you were looking at something like, let's call it gay marriage, or acceptance of gay marriage, same thing. Fibonacci is playing out with the number of people who support it, then the people who don't support it, and then all of a sudden it just keeps, guys, it's fascinating to watch. Fibonacci is a real life solution to a lot of different things. It's absolutely crazy the way that it plays out. Now, back into it. Public input shapes the SEC crypto privacy review. Public involvement is a feature in the roundtable format for the SEC. The agency will take comments at the meeting. There's coordination with other regulators as well. The CFTC will also become involved in order to ensure consistent crypto regulation. The SEC has said that inadequate protection of data has led to a distrust of digital asset markets. A lack of trust has hampered wider adoption. Officials via the U.S. SEC Crypto Task Force are looking for firsthand information about real issues firms confront. The timing comes as crypto platforms are facing increased scrutiny over how they track their users. Citadel and other big traditional finance firms have lately been advocating greater oversight. Do you see? Privacy fears have taken center stage as surveillance grows. Many exchanges already rely on sophisticated analytical tools to monitor the system for suspicious behavior. Remember, Coinbase was banning a lot of people for no valid reason for a very long time. And Coinbase literally had to, in order to be in compliance with the Democratic-led government from 2020 to 2024, they had to create these tools that they are now unwinding because they were trapping and basically stealing money from people. To let you guys know, I got my money back from Coinbase. I reached out multiple times. They finally gave me my refund. So that's why I'm not talking bad about Coinbase anymore. They finally took me through that process. Now, speaking of processes here, Latama 150 the other day. So if you are interested, make sure you sign up at terracasino.io. The reason that you sign up, I'm going to give away $50 when I'm going to set up contests and stuff like that to give away $50. But they are giving away every single day. Not only do you have that, you've got free roll. There's a $200 pound per week free roll sponsored by WeSo World. There is $125,000 being given away through December 28th through Terra Casino and Evolution. And then you can play Santa's Bag right now. Or do you love Christmas or do you hate Christmas? If you love Christmas, why aren't you playing Santa's Bag right now? Go sign up at terracasino.io today. Terraport.finance for all your meme coins and utility coins. Again, there are 4 coins that I think you should have, or 4 tokens, I should say. You should have a little bit of Lunk because, again, Lunk, by the way, Lunk is no longer delisted from Kraken. I think I told you that yesterday. Lunk has now been continued. And by the way, number 6 trading coin right here, Believe. Number 6 trading coin is Believe right now. So shout out to you guys for making it happen. Did you ever think that I would be trending anywhere? You know what I mean? Like absolutely crazy. Does Fibonacci work for Super Bowl winners? No, it doesn't work for Super Bowl winners, but it does work for fan base engagement, because if you go look and you draw a Fibonacci chart for viewership and the number of people in MAGA who were never going to watch the NFL again, and the level that it went to was the 0.5, and then all of a sudden it went to a higher high, because guess what? Everybody was lying to you. They were just pretending. They weren't really outraged by Colin Kaepernick taking a knee. They weren't really outraged by that. They just didn't like the fact that some uppity man decided to let his opinion be known in a place, by the way, that until 2007 didn't observe the national anthem and didn't require players to come out on the grounds. They did that because of 9/11. So yeah. If you want to know what a bunch of clowns look like, find a red hat. And by the way, if you wear a red hat everywhere, I didn't mean you. I meant the other guys. You know what I mean? You're watching the NFL. You're cool. The people who aren't, nerds. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, got an update here for DevvE. I wanted to take you through. Son of a bitch. You know what? As a matter of fact, I actually had something that I wanted to show you. Here we go. All right, so yesterday I asked the question in chat because Austin and Ray are filming an episode right now of the DevvE podcast. And I said, will this be the interview that Austin was bugging him about 3 weeks ago? Which, as we know, was something that they were trying to get. Right? And then Fabrizio says they are recording right now, so I would say yes, it will be on YouTube. So I haven't seen an update yet for DevvE. Let me pop in here. And let's see if we've got an updated boom. Intro to DevvE. Okay, so we don't have anything set up right now. Nope. And then do we have a live right there? Nope. So we don't have it yet, but this is what we're going to get right here. We're going to get probably a 30 to 40 minute episode. I don't know the time, but we'll get a 30 to 40 minute episode here of an interview. Last time was Davin. Before that was Bill Anderson, which I wonder if that's Tom's brother, by the way. Like, Bill looks like a heavy set Tom, right? Like, that looks like it could be his brother. And then we had Tom the month before as well. So maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see. Some interesting information coming out. It's been a long time going back here. It's been 6 months since we saw Ray Quintana, and having this interview might be the start of something. I don't know for sure. I have no idea. Also, fear and greed index down to 11 right now. We are in extreme fear. We maintain ourselves in extreme fear. The market is still just extracting liquidity, so we are still in dangerous territory. When you look at the liquidity right now and you see where it is, I can see some more come down here to about 85,000. Again, I'm just giving you an opinion right now based on where the liquidity pockets are. So some drawdown to 85,000. Also, I could see a spike back up to 91,000 to liquidate again what I told you yesterday and what I told you earlier this morning. There's a lot of shorts being taken right now. And when everybody's shorting the market, when you're starting to see all of that happen, then it will cause a swing to the upside because they will want to wreck those people because they don't care whether price go up or price go down. Understand this, market makers could not care less whether or not the price is up or down. They care about will they be able to extract liquidity from the market. And if they're able to extract it on a long position or a short position, makes no difference to them because they're betting and they're leveraging their positions. And as long as they're convincing you, and by the way, to me, I don't feel like it's irresponsible. I just want to say that. Weeks over here, if you want to trade, use Weeks. If you want to trade, use KCEX. If you want to trade and you want to use a leverage position, that's the places that will help me the most. I get a commission when you trade successfully on those. By the way, if you're trading on spot, Weeks and KCEX also reward me on spot trading. So if you are using any one of these locations, and by the way, I do like Weeks the most. Nothing against KCEX, but Weeks has one of the deepest liquidity pools. So if you're looking to trade, then I mean, sign. And by the way, this is non-KYC. So if you want to trade, then this is the place to go. Now, if you're trading Terra Luna Classic, you got to use Kraken in the United States. Weeks is no longer supporting Terra Luna Classic after 3.59 was upgraded to 3.6.0. 3.6.1 is allegedly going to fix it, but it's not implemented yet. We'll get a notification on that, and then we'll see whether or not Weeks is actually supporting it at that point or not. So I don't know for sure whether that's the case. And Weeks, by the way, to their credit, has already acknowledged to me, like, yeah, we missed out big time because they could have made a bunch of money. Because remember, the Terra Luna Classic trade volume was over $1 billion a day last week. It was absolute insanity. And like right now, let me show you. They missed out. So today it's about $60 million in trade volume. But I mean, the trade volume on Terra Luna Classic was insane for a short period of time, and it was indicative of the market conditions. By the way, you saw this massive little spike here. We're on the 1 minute chart. By the way, I was messing around on X this morning saying I was watching the 1 minute chart. By the way, I made something up. If anybody sees this, I was just messing around here, by the way, just to annoy somebody, because I guess it, for some fucking reason, it makes me feel, it makes me giggle and chuckle and shit like that. I don't know if it's launched yet. Yeah, no, it hasn't launched yet. This is what I've been doing. I've been examining the lower time frames of the Bitcoin chart, and it looks like we could definitely go either up or down from here. I'm just trying to annoy people. And then there was another one. Typing this at 9:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jane Street is about to do their daily fuckery in 40 minutes, and I'm going to predict no sell-off today. Headwinds are shifting rapidly. We will revisit at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to see what happens. We are 30 minutes away from that, and as of right now, market is still in a good position. Jane Street fuckery did not happen today. Jane Street fuckery did not happen. In fact, the Jane Street fuckery started at 9 o'clock, and they really haven't done anything at this point. So are we seeing a change in the dynamic? I'm not sure it's a change in the dynamic. Again, like I said, I think it's just the SEC. They're just trying to make sure the SEC is not looking at them saying, wait a minute, this is every day now. And they're going to start investigating their manipulation of the markets. And listen, if you manipulate the markets and you do it wink, wink, then it's okay. But if you do it openly and brazenly, wink, wink, it's not okay. Remember, when you're wealthy, they let you do anything, right? That's what Donald Trump said. When you're rich, you can do anything you want. So back to liquidity. We'll see what happens there. Spot Bitcoin ETFs. By the way, I don't mean this, and I was not trying to be rude to Ian Heinisch, who was lying to you a little while ago. Ew, gross, bitch. Oh, here we go. This is what I put out. On the 1 minute chart, ETH has formed a Schlabardlian Phenalicon formation, and you know what that means. I have no idea. I made up 2 words. Just so you guys just so you have something to laugh at if you saw it on X. By the way, if you're not following me on X, what the fuck is wrong with you? If you're not engaging with me on X, you better start. On the 1 minute chart, ETH has formed a Schlabardlian Phenalicon formation, and you know what that means. And by the way, I don't know what that means at all. Somebody said something silently cooking. There it is. And then boom. Seriously, I'm going to hit like on those. Crazy though, right? I just make some words up. You know what I'm saying? We got CoinsChick in here asking me if this is the BitBoy channel. I don't know. Does it look like the BitBoy channel? Does it look like the BitBoy channel here? Boom shakalaka. Anyway, so yeah, engage with me on X. Otherwise, I'm on a 6-hour road trip. Ask me anything. You know, I've seen this face 100 times, and I think it's the same goddamn picture every single day that this person puts out. Jesus Christ. And then I saw a bunch of people doing this only for mathematicians. I bought a cow for $800. I sold it for $200. You made a $200 profit. I bought it again for $1,100, which means that your profit was used in order to buy. So your profit now is $100. And then you sold it again for $1,300, meaning you made $200. So now your profit is $300. Your profit is not $500 because you paid more for the cow the second time around. You took your profit right here, but you engaged $100 of your profit back into buying this animal, and then you sold it for another $200, meaning that you made $300 total. Jesus Christ. Kevin Hart is tiny, by the way. Kevin Hart is tiny. Oh, and by the way, for anybody who didn't see it, the Doomsday trailer just came out, and people are leaking a copy of the Doomsday trailer, and Chris Evans lied to you. He's the main focus of Doomsday, or at least he's at the start of it. For those of you that don't know, what happened was in the Avengers Doomsday trailer, if you don't see it, he comes home on a motorcycle, he goes in the house, and you see him holding a baby, and he's also like staring kind of longingly at his Captain America gear. And that is the first trailer for Doomsday. I don't know if that's the full trailer, but that was the first trailer. And here it is. Oh, actually, here it is right here. You've got Chris Evans staring at this baby. He pulls up. Then he's looking at his suit as he puts it into a drawer. And then he's got a baby. And now the question is, who is that baby? Is that baby going to be the new Captain America going forward or something like that? So now here is the leaks that you have that are going on right now. First trailer is focused on Steve Rogers. Second trailer is going to be focused on Thor. Third trailer is focused on Doctor Doom. And the fourth trailer is focused on the entire movie. Now, by the way, for those of you that want to know when you can go see this, you can see it in theaters on Friday with the release of Avatar, Fire and Water. The first trailer will be the first week. The second trailer will be for week 2, also Avatar, Fire and Water. For the first month of Avatar, Fire and Water, you're going to get 1 new trailer for Avengers Doomsday per week. Crazy, isn't it? Anyway, back to it. Bitcoin ETF. Oh, God damn it. You know what? I forgot what I was doing here. Ian Heinisch. Look at this shit. It was absolutely crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And I don't want to get beat up by some UFC guy, but... Oh, here, quick correction here. Ian Heinisch says that BlackRock just bought $950 billion of Ethereum on Coinbase, and then Tommy Lee grabbed 1.2 billion right after. None of that is true. None of that is true. BlackRock sold 139 million. They didn't buy 950 billion. In fact, a $950 billion purchase for BlackRock for Ethereum would send Ethereum to $18,000 per Ethereum. So I think he meant 950 million, maybe. But even that, not true. They sold 139 million. So crazy. Engagement farming. We all do it. I mean, engagement farming, but whew. So anyway, on the Bitcoin ETF yesterday, we had a sell-off totaling 357 million. You guys remember what I told you? I told you that because this was happening, because this was happening, that we'd probably see a sell-off from the dump in the market, from old Jane Street doing their thing. And we did get that exactly. Ethereum, also a little bit of sell-off yesterday. 73,000 was sold off, and that was 224 million. 139 million from BlackRock, 139.1 million from BlackRock, not a $950 million buy. Just absolutely insane. And by the way, even if you look at it right here, 13.1 billion total is what they bought so far. So none of his crazy ass math is even close to accurate. It's crazy, this shit, people. XRP, by the way, still had inflows totaling 10.89 million, meaning that every day people are buying XRP. Solana, also every day people are buying Solana, 35 million in inflows. Guys, you cannot understate the fact that these ETFs are continuing to pick up more and more XRP, more and more Solana, more and more every single day. This is big. And at some point, remember what happened to Bitcoin. Remember what happened to Ethereum. The same thing's going to happen to XRP. Same thing's going to happen to Solana. They are going to explode in value at some point very, very soon. Now, obviously, it's taking longer than we anticipated and longer than we expected, but that doesn't mean that it won't happen. It just means that it's taking longer. It took 14 days for Bitcoin to start a big reversal, but it took something like 60 days or 6 weeks. I don't remember what it was, but Ethereum, same thing. It took a longer time for Ethereum's reversal. It took like 2 or 3 times as long for Ethereum to do its reversal. And then when they did the reversal, the next thing you knew, Ethereum was headed back to an all-time high. Took a while to get there. Didn't take Bitcoin nearly as long. Took Ethereum a lot longer to get to that all-time high, but back to that all-time high, they inevitably went. So just consider that when you're making your investments. Now, there is some news saying that there's a possibility that XRP ends up at $1.50 because of some sell-off and stuff like that. Haven't seen any reason to think that that's going to happen. But I also haven't seen any reason to think that the market is going to absolutely explode in price action to begin with. So, you know, at $1.92, I do think that XRP at this point, probably a bit of a steal. We're not looking at this on the larger time frames right now. We're just kind of checking it out. We're seeing that slow trickle away. I suspect that we could see, by the way, if I'm giving you an area that I'd be looking for an accumulation, $1.64 right there. If you're so lucky as to get an opportunity to accumulate at $1.64, take that opportunity while you have that opportunity. And remember that this right here is still playing out right now. We're still in a downtrend. However, we were in a downtrend over here, and look what happened. New all-time high. We're in a downtrend here. Guess what's going to happen? New all-time high. There is a floor. That floor around $1.64. We could see it cut down all the way to, where did it go? $1.58. So could we see a deeper cut? Yes. But then we'll just see a bigger pump. So if you're setting buy orders, go to Weeks, go to KCEX, set yourself a buy order. Make sure you sign up at my description down below first. And if you want to track all of your trades, track my trades. .ai is down in the description below as well. But I suspect you're going to get a big bounce off of this. And by the way, full disclosure for anybody who consumes, I bought more Trump token yesterday. It was trading at $5.28, and I thought, you know what? This is a good opportunity to get in. So I bought some Trump. Now it's down to $5.23. So I didn't catch the bottom. And I didn't have any until yesterday. But I thought, you know, what could I do with my money that would be, I think, smart in the long run? So I bought more. I bought Trump coin. I sold mine before, and I took a loss on it. I think I had like $1,000 worth and I ended up selling it for 850. So I lost like 150 bucks. So this was an opportunity to get back in and kind of make some of that money back. And I thought, you know, this is a low enough price. This is not that winter mute dump area right there. That would have been a perfect spot to buy. That would have been perfect. But it also spoke to me that, you know, I feel like if we just take that out and we say that that's kind of a crazy moment, right? I was looking at this right here. And I thought, you know, am I seeing a trend line or am I making it up in my mind? Not the cut here, but that support line right there for the next couple days. Taking this area right here, this range, and then this little area right here. When you look at it that way, you're like right there in the area. And the last time that happened, you got this enormous spike back up here, which was basically a 2x. So I thought, you know, this could be an area for a 2x. So I'm going to be watching that over the next few days. As a matter of fact, we're going to move that back up here into the prime time area right there. So be watching for a move from Trump meme coin in just a little while. I suspect that there's going to be something that Trump does here that's going to try to move that coin at some point. So I do think that we're going to see that happen. Now, Bitcoin, 87,270. The rally right there, is that a dead cat bounce? It kind of looks like it to me. It looks like we got that dead cat rally. But again, we go back here and we look at the way the market has been lining up. And what do we see right now? We're seeing a move back towards the top. We're moving back upwards. We're seeing this. And by the way, it doesn't mean that the channel isn't going to break down. It just looks like right now we're in this upward trend momentum. So I suspect that we're going to see a spike up here in price back up into that 97,000 range, and then probably another breakdown to 90 as we continue to move down this tightened, highly volatile range. Or we kind of saw this play out up here, not as robust. There were still, you know, there was still downward momentum there. We saw this little upward spike right there. And I think I told you guys at the time, you know, it looks like we got an upward spike. If we're minting higher lows, that means that bullish narrative has returned. So, you know, if we see this and we see this, and then we see a test back up here at the top, then we're back into a bullish narrative. And then we'll see whether or not we close above this little range right there. I suspect that that's going to be the next big spot for, you know, that's going to be the test right there. Right around 98,000. I think that's going to be the test zone. So, you know, we'll see what happens with Bitcoin. Certainly looking for a spike right there. And by the way, again, all the news that's coming out right now is trying to move us back into a more positive direction. We're being told that things are being sold off. We're being told that there's going to be all these crazy things. When those things happen, that tends to mean the opposite reaction is going to happen. So I think we're going to see some kind of big move there. Now, Ethereum is not breaking towards that upside like I was hoping for. It's in an expanding wedge. That's not good. But it also means there is a real probability, by the way, if you take this and you just go for a couple days here and you say, well, where's our volume kind of range? And it's going to be right there, right? Doesn't it make sense that Bitcoin or Ethereum is going to move up into this range right here? Make another test of about 3,500. What is it? 3513. So I think Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're all moving towards that 89,000 or that big pump range. So 3,500 Ethereum, 98,000 Bitcoin. Does that mean that we're back? I don't know, but it does mean that I think we're going to have a rally. Are we going to get a Christmas rally? Not sure, but I certainly would look at it and think that there is a real possibility for that to happen. Solana showing surprising resilience right now in the face of mounting pressures from that DDoS attack, but not giving up ground and staying online the entire time is a great sign for the durability of Solana. And by the way, Solana just made an announcement, which I forgot to add here to the show. Banks are settling payments with Visa on Solana, already at 3.5 billion run rate. So this came directly from Solana. So guys, you got to get bullish on Solana. I don't like the fact that there's so much new supply that's in the market right now. That doesn't inspire confidence in me, because again, when we had this massive run up where we hit that all-time high over here, right there, that was the all-time high market cap. This is the all-time high market cap now. So market cap is not matching supply, and there's too much supply entering Solana right now. So if we get another spike, 223, 230, somewhere in that range, I mean, you know, it looks difficult right now. It looks like, you know, it doesn't look good. I'll just put it that way. For a massive spike in Solana, you got to burn some Solana. I mean, really, that's what you got to do. And I don't really know that there's a solid mechanism in place to run that up that way. Also, Tau did their halving on the 14th, 2 days ago. So now you're earning half the rewards that you were earning before. That means that if we look at it from this context, we've hit this, which I think is the bottom. I think it's the bottom of this round. Anything could happen. It could continue to go down. But remember, when Bitcoin did its halving, then we started to see another run up. So will we see it again? And by the way, we have 10 minutes left before we get the Jane Street results and look at the market. Market's now up $26 billion from $4 billion when we started this. So I was right that we actually are getting a spike in price as the risk assets start to pump a little bit on the news that Bitcoin or on the news that U.S. unemployment is rising and new job creation is falling, and that means rate cut. That means rate cut. So good news overall. No good news for Dev. Again, you know, like, listen, I would really like to see a rally right now. This right here, by the way, I don't even know what this stack here was, but I would really like to see a rally right here into that 70-cent level to inspire a little confidence. Now, I don't think that it's got it in it right now to inspire that confidence at that level. So what I would be looking for is from here. Whoops. I would be looking for an enormous rally up to around 64, 65 cents. I think I've told you before that I think 60, 65 cents is a solid range right now, where I think that, you know, that reestablishes some confidence in Dev. If I look right here, I'm going to say that the top of this is probably where this is the best little volume range right there for a spike and a pump. So let's go to volume profile, and let's see what happens if we reload the volume profile here. Does it show the same thing? Boom, boom, boom. We're not getting it. No volume data. Hasn't provided volume data for this symbol. Wild. Oh, by the way, also have, oh, no volume data here. Oh, you know what? I may have screwed that up. I changed the Dev logo. I changed the Dev thing the other day. That is the old one. Let me see if I got something with a new logo here. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So is that 60 cents right there? Yeah, that's the same range right there. So this is the crypto. This is the market cap. So current market cap 27 million, but in this range right here, which is the 60-cent range. Again, same thing. And by the way, massive sell strength. The signal indicator. I haven't revealed this yet. I'm waiting for my link, but we're going to be talking about Crusader signals coming up very, very, very soon. So we'll turn that off for now. It's actually been a pretty good tool so far to look at the movement of the market. As a matter of fact, let's go back over here and let's find a good dev to use right there. That crypto market cap absolutely does not work right there. Total value lock does not work right there. Pairing on spot with that one, I don't like that one. I'm not a fan of that one. Dev on USDT at Gate.io. Could we use that one? Suppose we could use that. We'll leave that down there for right now. All right. 24-hour DEX volumes are back up in the... Look at this. 3, that's 6 billion, and that's 10 billion. Almost 10 billion on the top 4. So it looks like the revival is underway. Also, I think that Aster DEX volume was really, really high yesterday as well. So seeing a lot of trade volume everywhere. So that's going to be it, guys. That's the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate everything. Thank you guys so much. Let's get into chat one more time. We had Coins Chick. We had the legend here calling it the BitBoy channel. Man, I can't believe you said that. Equalizer 4 trailers are fake. By the way, I don't know if anybody signed up, but you could sign up for the Ballerina, which is on, I don't know, Peacock or some shit like that. Like, I don't know if you like John Wick, you know, the Ballerina show is coming out, so, you know, maybe you can consume whatever. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. It's not financial advice. I'm always right. Sign up for something